This afternoon, they certainly have to take it.
Well, we're about to get things underway. Just quickly in the ruck duties, Traralgon a little bit light on, so they're going to go with Bailey Cameron.
Okay, I think I called that. Duties. I think I did call that pre-game.
Yeah, and of course Joshua Wykes will do the ruck duties there for Bairnsdale. So a bit of youth in the middle of the ground there for both sides. Of course, Russell Cowan is in the middle there for the Redlegs. Hector will go to him. And then you've got as well Russell Cowan, who is in very good form for Bairnsdale in the middle of the ground. Looks like the Redlegs have just got an extra one back, boys, or is it so the Traralgon, they've got one loose at the moment. The umpire's about to kick things off for round 6. The ball goes up, it drifts away to that right side, which the wind is blowing. Out there was Collison, a quick handball out towards McMahon. He went backwards to Jacobson, and the left foot kick goes down the line to the top of the 50, and there's a free kick. It's going to in the way of Bairnsdale.
Called from 75 metres away, short hand on the back. I'm not sure that that's an infringement these days. I wouldn't have thought.
Keenan Hines was the one who had the free kick. He kicked it out to the wing. Jacobson at ground level. Handball backwards there. Quick kick by Jackson Hall towards half forward again. Keenan Hines marks this one. Plays on quickly again. And they're just giving it back to each other at the moment. And this time Jacobson takes a mark. He went short and he found Collison.
He did too. So Collison just outside wing. Traralgon kicking to the right of radio with a stiff breeze. A trap, though, for young players is that you just kick long and hope the breeze does the work. You still need to be strategic, and Collison's trying to find a gap because he found it. Over the back it goes. First player there was Somerville, Dylan, for Bairnsdale, but he's been beaten to the ball, and Traralgon have got some room to move. Nicely done. Will Broadbent, the big man standing stark, and he register a score across the face of goals and out of play. About 20 metres from Traralgon goals in the opening minutes, first quarter.
Interesting start there by Bairnsdale too. They've pushed all their players back, so they've defended him with 3, allowing 3 loose there back for Traralgon.
Well, ball is inside Traralgon's forward 50. It comes back into the field of play. Collison was there. Handball gets squeezed out the back, goes past Tom Bryan. Now this is Cowan, gets around one, just gets his left boot to ball. Missing that one there was Williams for the Maroons. It comes back to Cowan to the Redlegs. A quick handball to Halford. He tried to hug the boundary line, he missed it, and the ball goes out of bounds on the full. And Jackson McMahon, the Gippsland League representative last week, chips it inboard to Stockdale. Handball over the top nicely to McMahon again. Now Jacobson, he's been busy early, gets back onto her right foot, kicks it inside 50. It's a chaos ball. No one can really mark it. Top of the 50 it is. Back there was Collison, kicked it off the ground, goes in the direction now of Troy Forrest. Quick boot to ball, bounces on the top of the line, bounces over 2 or 3, and rushing it through on the last line was Harry Gibbs for Bairnsdale to get the first score on the board this afternoon.
And that's on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. That's come at the 2-minute mark of this first quarter. Traralgon 1 behind 1 point.
So Keenan Hines, who's been busy in the opening minutes of this first quarter, finds Will Hamilton outer side of the ground, in fact out of play on the full, and the free kick will go Traralgon's way. They try to take on the man of the mark. The big fella was Will Hamilton, couldn't get around him. They've got a second dip at it now, a kick into the forward 50 more in hope than anything else.
Keenan Hines.
And Keenan Hines has just got the ball on a string just in this opening few minutes.
Oh, should nearly be 50, I would have thought, and it is. Has all sorts. Cam Whiteoak was the one who just got, he didn't know where he was, to be honest. And he wasn't because he's knocked out. He just didn't know where the player on the mark was, or the player with the football was, and just ran through the mark.
Too.
And he plays on quickly to Keenan Hines, inside forward 50. McCary goes up and takes a strong mark. He's right on 50, kicking into the breeze, and he just loses his shoe, so he said, stuff that, I'm going to get rid of it and kick with me pink sock. He's a dribbler along the ground it was, and allowed Traralgon to repel out towards Hector now outside their defensive 50.
Nice.
Kicks to the wing. Broadbent is the runner. Back there as well is Lopez. That was Riley. Broadbent ran on nicely, tapped it to himself and then kicked it further afield. Back towards Dylan Lopez. He's a left foot snap around the body and he misses.
Gracious.
And you just knew as he picked it up he didn't want to go to the left. He didn't trust it. Another minor score.
Yeah, he was looking to feed off, wasn't he? He was caught in his left side, looked for a runner, one wasn't there, and he thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to do the best I can. He did, but it wasn't good enough. So Bairnsdale now, through Dylan Somerville, will bring this ball back into play.
He plays onto himself, gains himself 5 metres, kicks to the outer side and missed the target again. It's a fair old breeze, and that football just carried over the boundary line. It's out of bounds on the full as Jacobson again drills it back in, but they need to adjust to this weather condition at the moment. beautiful day. No rain about at the moment, but the wind is howling. We've had 3 or 4 out of bounds on the full to start the game, Boxer.
There you have, and look, they're pushing numbers right up, so it's really congested inside Traralgon's 50. So hence the entry inside has been really kamikaze-like. They don't know where to go, and just that Dylan Lopez miss while we've got the opportunity there too. He was looking to give off, but it's just a little bit of instinct as
We've
well.
got 2 field umpires. Look at this, boys. 2 field umpires. They've convinced the boundary umpire it wasn't out of play in the out of bounds. It was out of play in the full.
Yep.
I reckon in the end the boundary umpire just gave it up.
And we've done it again. Another Dylan Somerville this time kicks it out of bounds on the full going the other direction.
Is that 3 or 4 in a row?
Just about.
Yeah, just about.
Jake, don't give it to Jacobson. He'll kick it out of bounds again. So Jackson Hall will have this. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to come inboard because he doesn't want to hug the boundary line. That wind is causing havoc. He does come inboard, top of the 50, a beautiful kick. Riley Lopez has
Good
it.
hands.
He can go
Stockdale.
lateral. Is he got Lee Stockdale? He's got the length. He dropped the mark in the end. He probably should have taken it. Ball spills out, underground hound ball. Halford was there, over the top. Tried to tap it to his advantage. Does nicely back there was Preston. Now it gets out again to Robinson, who gave it back to Halford. They kick along the line. Good little body work before the ball got to him. Nicely done by Vickery. Goes inboard to Cow and he drops the mark. He's got 3 Traralgon players descending on him. He gets a handball out, but Maroons are free, and they're going to relieve the pressure across halfback.
Decent standard in tricky conditions. There's Bensdale now from halfback flank. Nice leg, left foot kick. Can he find a teammate? He can't. It falls in the arms of Broadbent, who goes inboard with a short kick. That was poor. Jacobson on the half volley couldn't pick it up. Taking a player high. Free kick the Redlegs way. Smack bang in the centre of City Oval. And Cowan, who's been busy also, gets up with the ball in his hands on that left leg. Kicks to within 45 metres, one-on-one contest. The use of body has been good, and Vickery, Kenan Vickery kicks to the top of the square. Can they make the most of this Ford 50 entry? They can't. The first player there was going to be McGarry, but he's beaten to the ball by the boundary. 10 metres out, right-hand side of the Bensdale goals.
Just a quick key matchup there too is the matchup between Cowan and Jacobson. So Jacobson's actually just got a bit of a shadow on Cowan as well. But Vickery, how good is he?
Yeah.
Tall, runs, and can mark as well.
Well, the body work early has been very good. Here's Callum McKeon outside top of his 50, got tackled quickly, and the umpire said you did have a chance. It is holding the ball, and it will be a free kick on the far side of the ground, and it looks to be Mitch Musto out there for the Maroons. He kicks it towards the wing area.
2-on-1 contest.
Yep.
What is that option?
It's a nothing option, and it goes over the heads there of Keenan Hines.
I understand that the wind is probably pushing across that side of the ground, but there's nothing wrong. There's a big open space here. Bring the ball back inside and bring it inboard. Open the game up a little bit more to give your forwards just an opportunity to maybe push the lead out a little bit wider.
And I think fitness is going to play a big part today. This ground has got a little bit of room to move. So if you're willing to work hard, you'll get the reward. There's no question about that.
East.
Yep.
Over the top took the ruck duties. Tried to have a fresh area there. Did the red legs. Underground handball didn't quite work out. Jacobson's been the best on ground so far for Gippsland Ozuzu. They went backwards there. Is it McMahon on the far side of the ground? Looked to be Lee Stockdale high up the ground as well. So we've got another boundary throw in, far side. It's a 2-point margin. We've travelled 7.5 minutes into this first quarter.
And the visitors have had their chances early. Lepre's missed one he should have got, and then there was a fortuitous bounce, I guess, in a lot of ways. As Traralgon again through Jacobson, the player that Scud just mentioned, that left foot kick finds the boundary line. Still 70 metres from the Traralgon Football Club's home goals.
7 disposals from Michael Jacobson's, 5 kicks, 2 handballs, 2 clearances, 2 inside 50s.
I think we made it an interchange for the boundary umpire on that far side because he's just going to be working pretty hard already this afternoon.
So Tim McGibney, he's got that group of 4 interchange together, just explaining to those on the bench just the tricky conditions they're going to be confronted with when they make their way onto the ground. The ball at the moment still 70 metres out from Traralgon goals, far side of the ground here at Bensdale's home ground. Remembering, of course, Bensdale in 4th position on the ladder as we speak. Traralgon hoping to win and edge their way closer to the top 5. Bit of work to do.
Ethan East that was, so I'll get that out in a moment. Tapped it over his head. It was a beautiful tap out. Just didn't quite get in the hands of the runners of the Redlegs. And they're going to bottle this one up. Just repeating that Traralgon are kicking with a bit of a breeze. Boxer thinks it's 3 goals. And at the moment, the Maroons aren't taking advantage of that. Hector Handballed out wide. Jacobson ducked his head again and tries to take on too many, and he's got pinged for holding the ball. And the free kick will go out there to Somerville, who the captain of the Red League side. He lost the toss earlier. Kicks it down towards half forward. Front spot, nicely done, was Bulmer. And Nick Bulmer takes a mark. He drives it close to the boundary line. A nice little neat kick in the end. And he's found his teammate down the line. They get it inside forward 50 in the direction of Vickery. Couldn't quite mark it. Spoiled out the back there. We're going to Traralgon play with a jumper number that we got no idea who it is. Top of the hot spot it goes. Handball lands in the hands of McMahon for Traralgon. Goes inboard. Finds a teammate. They've got some good run. Hector has it centre half back. Goes to White Oak, who gives it back to Hector. He chips it out wide. There's no one out here on the wing. I don't know what he saw, because coming the other way is Ryan Halford of Bairnsdale. Delivers towards the top of the 50. Vickery again. Does a little shimmy. Gave it back to McKeown, who dropped it. Halford was close to the boundary line. And it goes over for a boundary throw-in. 2 point margin in favour of the Maroons.
Geez, Vickery's causing them some grief out there as well. I see Traralgon's already made the change there too, because Thurin did have him. It was a bit of a mismatch there with height, and then he got him for speed as well. So he's got a new opponent already.
Yeah, when in doubt, kick to space. I reckon that's the direction for Traralgon as we go forward now through Halford.
Good pace.
Halford on his left leg. Good pace, as you heard Scud saying. It was indeed. First goal. Good goal. Nice work. And it's Braden McCarry who gets the first goal of the afternoon, and that's at the 10-minute mark. The Redlegs are finally on the board, boys.
Talk about being in the right spot at the right time. He knows where to actually be when the ball's in dispute too. So good players know where the great sense of mind to have, especially in front of goals, and McCarry can see why he's the league leading goal kicker.
And that first goal has come at the 11-minute mark of the first quarter. Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard sees Bairnsdale with a 4-point lead. 1 goal straight 6. Traralgon 2 behinds, 2 points.
The ball is back in the middle, and I'll tell you what, Braden McCarry doesn't need a great deal to get goals on the board. East goes up. Cameron did well, but back there was Cowan of the Redlegs. He'll swing onto that left foot across half back, gets it out wide. This guy Ryan Halford's had a bit of a start in the first quarter. He's got some toe. The left foot kick, Thuring spoiled it. Now at ground level is Brett Waddell, and Waddell was happy to see it go over for a boundary throw in. I tell you what, Halford has some wheels when he gets some open space. Right in front of the commentary box here, which is right next to both coaches' boxes at the Bairnsdale City Oval. The Redlegs are in front. East has the strength work. Tapped it to himself in the end. Slapped it on the boot. And it will be marked back there. And this time it is through Stevenson. He gets it to the far side. They've got a little bit of run. Troy Forrest is there.
Nice.
Jacobson provides that nice shepherd. As Forrest delivers over the top. It skids on. It's the wrong side of the goalposts. And it's going to go over for a boundary throw-in. Nice little shepherd there from Jacobson, Poppy.
Yeah, good work by Jacobson towards the midfield. And just opening up the space a bit for his teammate. And it was, a nice entry into forward 50, to be honest. It just didn't quite hit the mark, but the danger and the pressure is still on the home side here.
Lee Stockdale from the stoppage, a quick snap. We'll see a minor score go again to the Maroons.
Yeah, Bairnsdale's pressure's been fantastic as well. Both sides has been, I think. But now Bairnsdale's prepared to sort of open the game up a little bit too, because it's been a very, very clustered game.
13 minutes played first quarter. Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. Bairnsdale 1 goal straight 6. Traralgon 3 behinds, 3 points.
Okay, I was just looking at the scoreboard thinking, did I miss something? Because the scoreboard was showing there for a few minutes 2 goals to Bairnsdale. And I was saying to my mate Boxer, hey Boxer,
what I've missed?
Yeah, I had my sounds like 3 syllables.
Well, Riley Lopez had a snap around after a missed kick in. There's going to be a free kick or a mark, and the goal line will go to Cam Whiteoak of the Maroons. He's directly in front. He's on the right on the goal line. This should mark this one down, boys. This might even go all the way to Painesville. And
did I tell you about Painesville last night? I was playing 8-ball and
well, Cam Whiteoak slams it home, and a good little reply there for the Maroons. Boxer.
Yeah, it was, and I think it's just the one that they really needed then too. I don't know what the inside 50s are, and I'm sure PC will let us know very shortly, but that quick entry inside 50, just to give yourself an opportunity, and the guys and the Traralgon boys capitalised then.
14 minutes played first quarter. Traralgon have got the lead back now. They lead by 3 points on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. 1-3-9. Bairnsdale 1 goal straight 6. And inside 50s, Traralgon 8 to Bairnsdale 4.
So in the ruck there now, Cameron still doing the duties. He will go up against Josh Wykes of the Redlegs. Cameron got a good tap down. In the middle of the ground there was Lelieve. Goes out the back. Jacobson again across half back. We following him, Paul. We'll get back to that in a moment.
Yep.
Thuring had some space through the middle. Delivers inside forward 50. I'll tell you what is another one. In Keenan Hines. He's had that many intercept marks. We'll get to those in a moment as well. He did it again and he chips it out wide to Brett Waddell.
So Brett Waddell, the 33, at the left half, back flank. Looks at his options, goes along the line. Can he find a winner here? He can't. No. Reading the ball well, I thought.
Yeah.
No. Pushing the back was the call. So the recipient was Ethan East. Fair enough call, Scud?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw it there. Jens just sort of gave him a nudge. Didn't hold his ground. He pushed him.
Okay, so Ethan East dances around the man on the mark and kicks inside 50. 40 metres from Bensdale goals.
Yeah,
another mark to Jackson Hall.
No, there's a hole behind the play. McCary gets the kick.
Well, McCary, who's been busy, we called him kicking the first goal of the afternoon. He's got every chance of kicking his second and the side second. The wind gets hold of it, and that gives you an indication
Vickery.
of how strong that is, even though it landed in the arms of Vickery. He read that ball beautifully.
Vickery is on. He's your go-to man right now.
Yep, he has got some set of hands. He's working very nicely. At the margin at the moment is 3 points in favour of Traralgon, but Kieran Vickery has a chance to put the Redlegs back in front. He's going to go with a banana into the breeze. Has he got it? I don't think he has. He kept it skinny. It's always a tough kick, that one, Boxer, with a banana into the breeze.
Into the breeze. It is. It's right in your face as well, too. So, unlucky.
Ball comes back into play. They played on Traralgon through Jackson Hall and found Broadbent top of the 50. That's a defensive 50 for Traralgon. They come inboard on a slight 45 and Musto takes the mark. He wants to play on quickly and he does so. Can he get some penetration over the top? Big spoil there by Somerville. And here's that man again, just happy to see it go over. Keenan Hines. He's got the long sleeves. He's got the East Gippsland surfy type look, albeit thinning a little bit, but still looking very sharp for a youngster.
He's got a bit more than you, Daryl. Let's just talk about that one for a minute.
I'll tell you what, he's on fire at the moment. He is down back. Those intercept marks, he's had about 5 or 6 of them early. Here's Collison from the stoppage. Quick handball to Musto. They reload and go inside 50 with a
This is where they're getting hurt,
nothing kick. Didn't really look for the leading targets and kicked it out of bounds on the full, Paul Carter.
And the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard sees Traralgon leading by 2 points, 139 to 117.
So the ball brought back into play for the Redlegs. Again, that kick, he's trying to drive it low against the wind and found the boundary line before players from either side could get their hands on it.
Paul, what are the inside 50s?
10 to 5, Traralgon's way.
Yep. So Traralgon aren't really making the most of their opportunities.
No.
And I reckon
Hines.
6 of those have been picked off by
Hines.
Keenan Hines. Well, both ruckmen, I don't know if there's anyone nominated. Bounced on the ground, a quick handball over the top, lands in Cowan's hands. Goes back where Singh just paddled it backwards to his teammate in Waddell, and he couldn't get a handle on it. We've got a boundary throw in virtually in the same spot. We're 70 metres around from Traralgon's goal. Collison's barking instructions to set them up. As the ball will come back in, is Poppy on TRFM.
So inside forward 50, the ball falls through, almost Tannenball-like, falls in the arms of Collison. Collison is at an advantage.
Oh.
The umpire calls it back, and there's a free kick behind play.
I think the umpire off this called the free kick against
He's
Traralgon.
been doing that a few times this afternoon, the umpire off the ball. I actually got my eyes on him. And
Have you?
I have,
Yeah,
and I'm not
right,
happy
no.
with him at the moment.
Okay.
I think he wants to have an influence on the game. He's got that surfy look as well,
Sean Wyatt.
albeit a surfer from the mid-50s.
Sean White got it out towards Singh direction. The handball lands in the hands of Wykes. He gave it backwards to Singh, and Singh's kick didn't like it off the boot because it went straight out of bounds on the full, right on the wing. And Chris Thuring, a new recruit to the Traralgon side in season
been good for them
29.
too, Thuring.
Yeah, he has been. Plays on, gives a handball to Stockdale, who was flat-footed. Spearing left foot kick, top of the 50. Lopez was the target. Overran it, both of him and the defender. Cowan swooped on it, put it on the left foot, goes over the top. Here's Vickery, handballs inboard, put his teammate under the pressure. He was up to the task, though, was Glasborough. Now they work it through McMahon to the Maroons. Drives it back inside forward
Nice
50, and
save,
Dylan
work.
Lopez takes the mark. Just read that one a little bit better going back. And the ball carried, and Lopez took the mark, falling onto his back, and will go back 45 metres out to have a shot at goal.
Exactly what you want to see. Just capitalise on Bairnsdale's mistakes there, Traralgon, and well done by McMahon. He didn't panic, and he got the ball inside 50 to a one-on-one with Lopez. Great set of hands.
So Dylan Lopez leading Traralgon's goal scoring for season 2019. Currently 4th on the Gippsland League list. Come in, very slight angle. He should have no trouble at all. And he puts it straight through the middle. He likes it. And he's going to come straight off for a spell. It is Traralgon's second through Dylan Lopez.
I'd leave him on the ground. I don't understand why we have to rotate players that have just kicked the goal, especially when you've got a player that's probably 6'3".
But you know what? We've been saying that for 5 years, haven't we?
We have. And they just
you know,
do it
I
anyway.
noticed the other day the Collingwood player. Who's the Collingwood player whose father was a famous player from West Coast Eagles? Kicked the ball in mid-air in the goal square last night against Sydney Swans.
Chris Mayne.
So Chris Mayne, when he kicked that goal, he signalled to the bench by tapping himself on the top of the head, and I wondered, and he stayed on the ground, and I wondered whether that was a call to say, hey, you know what? I'm right. Let's leave me here.
Rightio, back to the middle. We'll get to the score in a moment because Collison got the clearance, kicked it to the top of the 50. White Oak had to elevate. Ball comes to ground level. As it comes out now, Bulmer tried to work on it for Banzo. The kick off the ground goes inside forward 50. White was back there. That was also Brian. It's under pressure again. A quick chain of hands. Now they've got Gibbs. He's able to get the handball out. It's a scrubby kick coming out of the back half. And Jacobson took the mark. There's no one on the mark, and he unloads from 55. He wanted his time of glory, and he missed everything out of bounds on the full.
Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard says Traralgon lead by 8 points, 20 and a half minutes played, 2-3-15, Bairnsdale 1-1-7.
Scoreboard a little bit behind you at the moment, Paul Carter, as we get the ball back in to play through the player that's been probably best on ground in the early moments in Keenan Hines. Kicks towards left half-back flank, falls to the front of the pack, and first player there was Cowan.
Oh.
He's taken ball and all. Free kick against Traralgon will go Bensdale's way.
Gee, it looked like that Lee Stockdale had the ball trying to handball it out. He mistook, I think, Russell Cowan's head a few times.
I've been keeping an eye on that matchup too with Cowan. Every time he gets the ball, Traralgon players are at him right now. Maybe the instruction is to make sure that he earns every kick he gets today.
Well, he's going to get 30 of them. Don't worry about that. So he's going to have a tough afternoon. Nice take was from Hayden Hector. Right in the wing. He drives it long. You can hear the call from the coaching staff. They want to get it in long and quickly. It's not quite working for them, though, at the moment. Cameron was there at the top of the 50 as they jump on the top of Cowan. And Cameron asked the question. Sorry, it was Preston at the bottom.
This is my frustration. Lopez is off. They've put Bailey Cameron down forward to rest out of the ruck, and now all of a sudden we've got a guy out of his depth.
Yep.
Because he's a backman. Out of position, and Lopez is not there. There's no one there.
And Keenan Hines, who's taken 5 or 6 intercept marks, is on his own in the goal square. So if this goes forward, which it was out of bounds on the full, so Lee Stockdale will put this in. And if he goes long to the top of square, don't expect Keenan Hines might get a hand on this one. It goes in that direction. And Keenan Hines dropped it, went straight through his hands. Up to the task was Preston. Quick chain of handballs. They've gone lateral with this kick. And it's going to work out because Halford was out there, chips it over the top, had to be centimetre perfect, and it was to Ethan East. He had 2 Traralgon defenders, one in the front, one in the back, and he pinpointed Ethan East.
Well, he's carrying a couple of kilos, Ethan East, but he presents well, good hands, and before he's got some confidence, he danced around the man on the mark in the opening minutes of this quarter. This time the kick up the line's a good one. Gains all of 50 metres. Front of the pack, though, Jacobson dropped what maybe he should have taken. Well rode by Geove. Geove goes over the top, and they got some nice run now through Mean. Mean's kick went searching for, but couldn't quite find his teammate in McCarry, who made a rare mistake, and the boundary beats all players around. There'll be a boundary throw in, left half forward flank. Bensdale into attack, but trailing at the moment by 8 points.
Well, the ruck duties there will land in that way of Broadbent and Wykes. Wykes has the back spotty. Ball just carries over there. Working hard at ground level. Singh now was Collison as well. Gathered it. He's able to get on his left foot and spot up McMahon. He's got some numbers. He goes inboard. Does he find his Laleave? He does. Good run. Handballs back to Jacobson. He has a bounce in the middle. Handballs over the top to White Oak at centre half forward. Gave it back to Jacobson. Now they chip it inside forward 50. Cameron had to stop and wait. Goes to ground. Cameron kept his feet. Back there nicely was Somerville. A chain of handballs landed in the hands of Brian, and he went for the boundary line and found it. And all the umpires look at each other. They said, it's all good. We'll have a boundary throw in 60 metres out from Traralgon's goal. The defence of the Redlegs held up.
Great play there by Jacobson. He's having a great quarter. He's just giving them that rebound footy they need, but they just got no option to kick to.
We've played 24 minutes and it's still an 8-point lead to Traralgon on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. 2-3-15 to 1-1-7. Michael Jacobson's had 7 kicks and 4 handballs.
Well, 11 possession quarter, and we've still got a few minutes to play as Bulmer comes grandstand side and the race is on. Who's got the pace? Well, first player there will be Stockdale. His quick left-hand handball over the top was a good one. Settles, but then kicks more in hope than with any real purpose. Front of the pack was Laprise. He got hands to it and then picked up the crumbs. Nicely done. East came through. His kick's going to fall in the arms of Jacobson.
Oh.
No, it doesn't. Drop what he should have taken. Had 2 bites in it. He couldn't fit the rest in. And just as he missed it, Bensdale eased the pressure through a kick out of defence. It lands, unfortunately, out of play on the full, and it will fall back in the arms of Lee Stockdale, right half-forward flank.
I think Jacobson was stiff there not to get a free kick. The Bairnsdale player ran straight at him as well, so unlucky there for Jacobson.
Well, the kick in from that out-of-bounds infringement went straight in the hands of, is it Singh? No, it could be White back there. They do look a little bit similar. White put it towards half forward. It's Traralgon's got 3 numbers back. I think Bairnsdale throwing some defenders back there. Callum McKeon trying to put on a little bit of pressure on Yench. He gave the handball across now to Williams. He got it further out wide.
Now
out towards
51.
McMahon. It was at 51. That was McMahon, I think, towards Lopez. Good spoil. And back there again is Keenan Hines. Found a teammate out there in Bulmer. If he tries to look back inboard, it's going to be a dangerous kick or a turnover. I think it might be good work by Callum McKeon to do very well. He won the footy himself. Handball towards Big Hamilton. He's just got to get it further afield. Bryan was the one. A mongrel kick inside forward 50. Vickery will snap around the body and put it through the middle. And against the tide, against the trend, Traralgon have got 2, as have Bairnsdale.
Wow. It's those same names we've been calling, you guys have been calling the whole quarter. Vickery, and I'll just tell you right now, hats off to young McKeon as well there. He was outgunned, he was outsized as well, won the ball. Hamilton really pushed the ball forward, and a great goal there by well-deserved Vickery.
2-point margin on the board at the 26-minute mark. And that's on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. Traralgon 2-3-15, Bairnsdale 2-1-13, and boys, that was a series of 7 inside 50s to Traralgon for no score.
Yeah, you can't have that, can you? As we see Will Broadbent prepare to do the ruck work against Joshua Wykes. Ball spills to ground. Traralgon are going to get first play at it. In fact, an umpire has paid a free kick. It'll go Traralgon's way to Collison. He comes grandstand side in front of our TRFM commentary position. It's Stockdale, who's starting to get busy as well, but he hasn't made the most of his legs inside forward 50, and that was no exception. The kick wasn't as good as it maybe should be, but nevertheless, the tackle by Laprise, that's Riley Laprise, earns himself a free kick. It was a lucky one, but it was there, and he'll kick from 40 metres out directly in front to try to build on this 2-point lead that the visitors have at the moment.
Well, Boxer thinks that it's about a 3-goal breeze that Traralgon are kicking with. At the 27-minute mark, this is an important kick for Monticello's, and it's Riley Lopez puts it on its way. And the breeze just works it nicely back from right to left, and it goes straight through the middle.
Yeah, it's a beautiful kick there. He was directly in front. It would have been disappointing not to get that result there too for Traralgon. You know, they've done all the work, and like Paul alluded to then, 7 insides for no score. Bairnsdale score on the help, and they get the rebound now is great work.
Back to an 8-point lead for Traralgon on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. 28 minutes played in this first quarter. 3-3-21 to the Maroons. Bairnsdale 2-1-13.
Well, they certainly needed that one, did the Maroons. We'll be interested to find out what happens at quarter time, because Bairnsdale has certainly got an extra one back. And Traralgon just let him have that. So Broadbent goes up against Wykes. Broadbent won the tap out. Trying to crash his way through the pack there was the Bairnsdale player, but he coughed up the football, did Tom Bryant. Now they get it back, the Red Legs through Halford. He kicks towards the half-forward flank on this far side. Vickery's got some toe. Good work, good tackle by Jacobson, but he didn't have the footy. And Vickery just didn't take clean possession, so he won himself the free kick. As we have 150 metres away, we have a free kick against Mark Collison, and it will be a 50-metre penalty. So Collison and Brett Waddell were in the goal square at the opposite end, and the umpire back there said to Collison, you got him high, and Vickery will be the recipient of a 50-metre penalty. that will take him to the point of the square. And at the 29-minute mark, we'll get Bairnsdale's third goal against the Breeze. And Collison still arguing. Now he has a go at Keenan Hines. And he just says, well, Collo, you've just cost your team a goal because Kieran Vickery has been on fire in the first quarter and slams it home. He kept it low, and the Redlegs get the answer.
Well, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt Traralgon.
I think it's almost been set up by Bairnsdale against Collison too, and it's very, very surprising that an umpire is watching play when the ball is actually at full forward and the incident's happening at full back. It's
There's
almost
three of them.
there is three.
You got to remember too, the Bairnsdale player's got a voice. So if you want to, you can actually let them know that something is going on. It's just to, obviously suck them in, and obviously Collo did. And the umpire's seen it.
Coming up to the 30-minute mark of the first quarter, Harvey Norman Computer Gippsland scoreboard 3-3-21 Traralgon, 3-1-19 Bairnsdale.
For Monticello's
Expect some heat in the contest right now in the dying moments of this first quarter. I don't think there's much left to play. We've seen 6 goals short, but we've played 30 minutes, as Paul Carter told you. The ball, centre of the ground, nicely rucked by Wykes. Can he find a teammate at ground level? He can't. A quick kick forward out of the pack by Hector, gains a couple of metres. It might fall in the arms. It does. Of Cameron Whiteoak.
Yep.
And this could be the perfect response, and Collison's letting some defenders know.
Yeah, I saw that.
And let's just see if keep a close eye on any response from Bairnsdale.
I actually saw that one. Nick Singh is the guy who was manning up Cam Whiteoak and just let him have at least 10-15 metres and decided to go and try and find the footy himself. As Cameron Whiteoak, did he make him pay?
Yeah, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. So he just let him go, and all of a sudden Whiteoak gets on the end of it. You've got to respect every player out there.
Yeah, you too, given that Whiteoak's already got himself on the board with the goal, as this player, Scud, continues to have an impact in Hines.
Kicks it out wide and found a teammate out there on the other side of the ground, and it looks to be, I'll have a go at it, it might be Robinson as he kicks it down the line. Big spoil over the back from Ethan East. And again, we've got a boundary throw in Paul Carter.
Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard 31 and a half minutes played now, and it's 3-4-22 Traralgon, 3-1-19 Bairnsdale.
So the reason why I was a little bit confused, because Keenan Vickery's gone back for this last couple of minutes of play, so that's why I didn't think it was Vickery, but he's playing that loose man now back there, so we know he's a centre half forward for the red leg side, just trying to consolidate and get to quarter time. Poppy?
So left half forward flank at the moment. Traralgon into attack with a breeze of, we suggest, 3 goals. They lead by 3 points. 31 and a half minutes gone.
Great
Nicely done, Jacobson. Just danced through a pack of players and then followed up with a 5-metre kick before a free kick was paid.
Cowan, I think, was it? Didn't have it.
So Cowan without the ball get another touch. Hasn't been their worst player. A handful of touches plus. We'll check those at quarter time with Paul Carter. He'll ease the pressure from defensive 50 along the line, gains a lot of distance, but it hands ever so easily into the arms of the big ruckman in Broadbent, whose kick inside forward 50 comes just as the siren sounds. And we've seen a pretty entertaining first 30 minutes of footy, boys.
We certainly have. It is Traralgon 3-4-22. Bairnsdale 3-1-19 the margin. 3 points at quarter time. This is Gippsland Live on TRFM, and we do it for Harvey Norman Electrical. The IXL Alfresco Aurora. You can transform your outdoor space into an ambient, cosy space all year round. That is at Harvey Norman Electrical.
TRFM's Old School Friday is now more interactive.